Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Superhero Piccolo Superhero. Sounds a little redundant, but I think you know what I'm talking about. It's the new Piccolo with the round toe shoes. Not the pointy toe shoes, and he has yellow things on his arms instead of pink. It's from the upcoming movie, I guess that's what it is, right? A new movie coming out for Dragon Ball Super. And it's good because the previous Piccolos have always left a little bit of something to be desired. And this one does solve most of the problems, so I'm pretty happy about that. It does do some things that aren't so great though, and we're going to have to talk about those things as well. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. And this guy stands just about 16.5 centimeters, which makes him pretty close to 6.5 inches, so he has some pretty good height on him. I don't have anything to compare him against right now. Everything is packed up, and with the baby here, I didn't want to try to dig everything out, and it's just a nightmare right now. But you can check against all of my other reviews. I've given height measurements for all of them. He's got some good size to him, which is really nice. I'm very happy about that. Before we get on to the rest of the review, though, let's do a quick question of the day. For Mr. Piccolo here, do you guys prefer the yellow thingies or the pink thingies? And of course, you have to put the red belt with the yellow thingies and then the blue belt with the pink thingies. I always want to say I prefer the pink thingies, but that sounds weird, so I'm going to say yellow. No, I actually do think I prefer the yellow. When I see them both, even though I want to say I like the pink ones, which I believe are the anime accurate ones, I tend to always prefer the yellow. I don't know what my thing is. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go yellow. You guys can let me know. Okay, so best thing about this guy, he actually has a little bit of a chest and some broadness to his chest and shoulders. I like that. He's still not as bulky as I'd like him to be, but he definitely is way closer to what he should be. Way, way, way better. Very happy about that. They didn't do any weird stuff to try to fit a cape on him or anything. He just has the broad shoulders, and because of the butterfly joint, you can even make him a little bit more broad, which I like, because in Dragon Ball, nobody really has much of a trapezius muscle, and they have really broad, square shoulders, so I like that a whole bunch. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about the details in the aesthetic. His purple parts, there's no paint on them. I mean, as far as like shading goes, they're all just straight purple plastic. They're a little bit shiny, and it's not terrible, but they're way shinier than they should be, and this line didn't used to have any shine to it at all, so that's definitely a little bit irritating. I don't care for that. The green parts are a little bit shiny as well, but they're okay, and they do match the painted green parts pretty well, so I'm pretty okay with that. I do actually like the painted green more than the molded green. It's a little bit more saturated. I like it, but it does look nice. The paintwork for the red and yellow around his arms, it's pretty clean. It's not great, but it's definitely good enough. They did manage to paint some on the joint here and then use a yellow piece of plastic. Very clever. I like that. Good job. They painted a little bit of his red thingy in there, so that's good. And there's no shading anywhere, though, by the way. Not here, not here, not here. We don't even have the lines on the boots, so that's a thing. They did put his little shell thingies. They're not shells. I don't know what they are. Let's talk about the head. It's probably the best Piccolo head so far. In fact, all three that come in this package are probably the best ones we've seen. They are very nice. They look like Piccolo rather than just some generic Namekian, and I'm very, very pleased with that. Some things I don't care for on this guy, we're going to get into more so in the articulation section, but I want to talk about it a little bit here now. There are mold lines going right across from right here and right here. That's not a big deal, but it doesn't look great, and they did give him kind of a front butt. The way his crotch poofs out, like I get that he has... We're not going to get into that, but I get why you would have a little bit of poof there, but he's got like a really big crotch. And it just kind of, it looks a little bit weird. Now, once you pose him, it's not going to stand out or anything, but it's something about the way they did it. It's very bulky. His crotch is bulky, and that's not what I'm into. I do like the bulky pants. We'll talk more about that in the articulation section based on the knee situation. But it's a little bit weird in the crotch, and it's a little bit weird in the abdomen. Well, again, articulation, but just the way they sculpted it, the way they have this here and then this here, it does kind of break the look, unless you have it completely seated, and then it still doesn't look great. So it's a little bit strange, but it's not any sort of huge problem. Really, my biggest issue is there's no shading and he's a little bit shiny. The rest of it is good enough. I'm pretty pleased with it. I like the overall proportioning on him for the most part. I'm going to go 8 out of 10. Definite lack of shading and too much shininess. The other things are nothing if those things were there, but since we have those problems, the other problems stand out too, especially with how shiny his crotch is. but it's not bad. It's just not good. Okay, let's talk accessories. We have the neutral kind of smirky head that comes on him in the package. Then we get the teeth showing one, and then we get the yelling one. And they're all very nicely done. It is a little strange to me that the lines under his eyes are red. I'm not sure why that's a thing, but they are red. So you might not even notice that. It's very dark, but that is the case. For hands, we have the 2 fist hands that come on him in the package. Then we have his jutsu hand. Then we have 2 clenchy hands, and then we have 2 wide open hands. And that's it. Now, he's not a very expensive release, so I get it. That's fine, but another Piccolo release without an energy effect part. Definitely a bummer, but hey, what are you going to do, I guess? So, 7 out of 10 for accessories. What's here is fine, but I feel like we should have some more. Okay, let's talk about the articulation. The head, surprisingly, not really. It's on a ball hinge instead of the double ball peg. Like, they started doing it, and then they're like, nope, we're not doing it anymore. It is better, it is cheaper, but we're not doing it anymore. So you have the ball hinge. It'll technically work, but it's a pain in the butt to use compared to a double ball peg, and you'll get better range out of a double ball peg. The neck is on a ball peg, and it actually works pretty well. You can lean it side to side pretty nicely. You can lean it down. Doesn't really lean up too far, but it's one of the better necks they've done, so I like that. Shoulders, as I said, are on a butterfly joint, but it's green, and it shouldn't be, so that sucks. Like, you can't use it without it looking ridiculous, unless you only look at it from the front, and even then it does push the shoulders so far out. It's just weird. They definitely didn't do the new shoulder design that they've been doing, and we're back to the old type of butterfly joint with the old type of sleeve, which is just not good. It's not good. Why'd they do that? You do get a nice ball peg in there for the shoulder to move around on, so that's helpful, but it's just not the way it should be. The new shoulder design is way better. This is not good. It's fine, but it's not good. You get your full rotation, but then this thing, it gets in the way, and it doesn't look good because there's green poking out. It just shouldn't be. Man, tiny little things like that need to be fixed, and these figures would be so much better for almost no effort at all. You do get your hinge there, but then see how this looks? Doesn't look good. It's not good. You can kind of tuck it in a little bit more, but it's just not good, and don't raise the arm as well. We've seen better shoulders recently, and even in like the Figuarts model kits, these are just, it's too outdated. It's not a good design, so that's unfortunate. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbows work nicely. No real issues there. Wrists are on the little tiny ball hinges. Nothing special there. That's all fine. Torso has a hinge and a ball peg. So the ball peg is okay. You can move him around, but even on just the ball peg, he gets pretty gappy, which isn't good. Can't lean him back really too much at all. And leaning him forward does require the hinge. And then he gets gappy again. And look at how they sculpted that. There's some weird stuff going on in this figure, which is very unfortunate. He's got like a hunchback thing going on that only looks okay if you leave his body neutral. I get it that they did it to try to make it look like he has a baggy shirt, but that's... No, don't do that. Put the baggy shirt at the top part where it's already bigger, not down here, so that when he leans forward it looks ridiculous. That's just not... That's not good. That's not good at all. How's the side-to-side leaning? It's okay. Rotation is a little bit, but you're going to get most of that down here. So you get your rotation down here at the waist, and you do get more forward and back down at the waist also. The belt is a floating piece, so that's okay. It's just, this torso could be so much better. Why is it like that? It doesn't have very much range at all, and it's ugly and gappy. Like, that's just not good. It's almost like they're only trying halfway on these figures now. The hips work pretty nicely. They do go forward, and they have not as much of a butt cheek on this one, so he can go back to... I like that. That's definitely something I prefer on the older styling. The new ones with the butt cheeks have limited range. This is good. Going out to the side, we do have really good range for that, too. The joints are nice and crispy, by the way. Very pleased with that. This is manufactured in the Chinese factory, so maybe that's why. I don't know, but his joints are good, so I'm very pleased with that. Definitely a little kibbly, of course, but not from the front or anything, so that's fine. You do get your thigh swivel on here. I definitely would prefer less of this showing, less of the smooth, hard plastic underneath, more pants, but it's okay. Now, the knees are very low on the leg, and that's weird, because if you bend it down there, it looks super duper weird, because knees are not down that far. That's very strange. But if you bend it all the way up here, everything kind of lines up pretty well. So if you pretend this is the knee and this is just like an additional piece to make the action figure work, it's okay. If you include this knee piece with the shin, it's all right. That's fine. So I think that'll be okay. It looks weird at first, but if you think about it the way I said, you're going to be okay. It's fine. That's not bad. It's not the worst we've seen by any means. All right, now the ankle is a ball peg. It gives you a decent amount of range. Not a ton. It's not loose. It's not too tight, and it doesn't have that much range, but it's okay. Toe joint is acceptable. It's not ugly. It doesn't have that weird cutout in it as much as it used to, so that's fine. And it's in a good spot, so it's okay. Yeah, articulation on this guy is fine. None of it's like really good, I would say, and some of it is bad. So overall, the articulation is only going to get like a 6 out of 10. I like the hips, but the torso kind of sucks, and the shoulders suck, and I guess that's it. Those things sucking is enough to knock it down. So yeah, it could be so much better. This guy definitely looks better than he poses. The shoulders really bother me. The torso really bothers me. Man. Okay, so final verdict on this Piccolo. Is it the best Piccolo they've released? Probably. I think so. I think if I had to pick, and Piccolo is my favorite character, so I feel like I'm qualified to make this commentary. If I had to pick just one to own, I would pick this one. But it does have all of those problems. So personally, I'm willing to look past it. As a reviewer, I can't. So I'm going to give him a final verdict of only 7 out of 10. It's fine. There's nothing terrible about it, but the shoulders are not good. The torso is not good. We could have more accessories. It is shiny plastic in some spots, but as just a fan of the character, I still like the figure plenty. As a reviewer, it's an average, good SH figure. It's just nothing terrible about it. Yeah, 7. It's a 7. That's a bummer. I want it to be a 10, a 9 or a 10. That'd be great, but it's just not there. It's just not there. Let me know how you guys feel about all the things I said in the review. How do you feel about the shiny plastic? How do you feel about the weird articulation? Things like that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.